In the modern history of the Olympic Games, there are performances that are remembered, performances that are admired, and performances that permanently change how we understand human limits. In the summer of 2008, in Beijing, one American swimmer delivered a performance that belongs to that final category, a performance so overwhelming that even years later it still feels unreal. That swimmer was Michael Phelps, and what he achieved would redefine Olympic greatness forever. For more than 3 decades, one number had stood above all others in swimming: 7 gold medals. In 1972, at the Munich Olympic Games, Mark Spitz produced a level of dominance the world had never seen. 7 races, 7 gold medals, 7 world records. It was perfection, and for 36 years, no one could match it. Swimming evolved, technology improved, athletes became stronger and faster, yet the record remained untouched. Many believed it belonged to another era, one that could never be recreated. Michael Phelps was not trying to relive the past, he was trying to go beyond it. His goal was not 7 gold medals, it was 8, and that difference mattered. Because 8 meant something entirely new. It meant surviving a schedule that no swimmer had ever attempted. 17 races across 9 days, with heats, semifinals, finals, and relays packed tightly together. There was no room for error, no space for weakness, and almost no time to recover. Even legends of the sport expressed doubt. Ian Thorpe, the Australian superstar and 3-time Olympic gold medalist from Sydney 2000, publicly questioned whether such a feat was physically possible. Thorpe understood the sport at the deepest level. He knew how fatigue creeps in silently, how the body breaks down when recovery disappears, and how confidence can collapse under relentless pressure. His doubt was logical, but for Phelps it was personal. As a child, Michael Phelps idolized Ian Thorpe. He studied his races, he copied his techniques. A poster of Thorpe once hung on his bedroom wall. Hearing his childhood hero say that the challenge was impossible did not discourage him. It hardened his resolve. Throughout his life, Phelps had responded to doubt in the same way. He turned it into fuel. From the beginning, Michael Phelps was different. At just 15 years old, he qualified for the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. He finished 5th in the 200-meter butterfly, becoming the youngest male swimmer to represent the United States at the Olympics in 68 years. For most athletes, that moment would define their entire career. For Phelps, it was merely a starting point. 7 months later, still only 15 years old, he broke the world record in the same event. He became the youngest male swimmer in history to set a swimming world record. Physically, he seemed built for the water. Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall with a wingspan of 6 feet 7 inches, his reach gave him a natural advantage. His long torso, flexible ankles, and size 14 feet functioned like built-in propulsion. But physical gifts alone never tell the full story. Behind the scenes was discipline taken to an extreme. Michael Phelps trained under a single coach, Bob Bowman, whose influence shaped every aspect of his life. Bowman later revealed that Phelps did not miss a single training session for 6 straight years, not one day, not for holidays, not for illness, not for personal reasons. Every day followed the same rhythm, centered around the pool. A typical training session involved more than 2 hours of nonstop swimming, often covering 10,000 meters. Day after day, year after year. To survive that workload, Phelps consumed more than 8,000 calories per day. This was not excess, it was necessity. His body burned energy at a rate few humans ever experience. Swimming was not just what he did, it was who he was. The world saw the results of this obsession at the Athens 2004 Olympic Games. At just 19 years old, Michael Phelps dominated the competition, winning 6 gold medals, 4 of them in individual events. Comparisons to Mark Spitz were immediate. Headlines spoke of a new American phenomenon. But for Phelps, 6 was not enough. The record still stood. Over the next 4 years, Phelps entered a period of absolute dominance. 13 world championship titles, 9 world records. His presence alone changed races before they even began. Swimmers spoke quietly about the psychological weight of lining up next to him. Coaches warned their athletes that even the smallest mistake against Phelps would be punished instantly. By the time the Beijing Olympics began, Michael Phelps was no longer just a favorite. He was the story of the Games. Cameras followed his warm-ups. Analysts dissected his expressions. Every race felt historic before it even started. His campaign opened with the individual medley, one of the most physically demanding events in swimming. Some believed this was where the dream might die. Instead, Phelps delivered a masterclass, winning comfortably and setting a new world record. Gold medal number 1. The message was clear. He was ready. The relay events introduced a different kind of pressure. Swimming relays demand trust, timing, and absolute precision. In one of the most dramatic races of the Games, the American team overturned the favorites in stunning fashion. The victory sent shockwaves through the competition and moved Phelps closer to history. He defended his Olympic title in the 200-meter freestyle. Then he claimed gold in the 200-meter butterfly. But fatigue was accumulating. The schedule was relentless. At one point, Phelps had just 50 minutes to recover before racing again in another relay. Exhausted, he made a critical decision. He chose to swim first. By doing so, he removed any excuses. He emptied everything he had. Gold medal number 5 followed. The individual medley once again showed Phelps at his peak. He had not lost that event in 8 years. Gold medal number 6 was secured. One more was needed to match Mark Spitz. The 7th gold would become legend. The 100-meter butterfly belonged to Milorad Čavić of Serbia. At the final turn, Čavić led. Phelps was back in 7th place. Stroke by stroke, he closed the gap. The final meters were chaos. Arms extended. Water exploded. When the result appeared, it revealed the smallest margin possible, 1/100th of a second. Phelps had done it. 7 gold medals. The record was matched, but Beijing was not finished. In the final relay, Phelps swam the 3rd leg as the United States pushed for one last victory. They delivered. Gold medal number 8. History was rewritten. Michael Phelps left Beijing not just as a champion, but as the most successful Olympic athlete of all time. His achievement went beyond medals. It redefined what was possible when talent, discipline, and obsession collide on the world's biggest stage.